budget allocation for line items, Blue Food Festival to jumpstart Tobago Carnival festivities, Mud is Life moves to Friday, and positions chosen for Soca Titans competition. Good evening, I am Bianna Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Thursday, 17th October 2024. To our top story, the Tobago House of Assembly is receiving increased budgetary allocations to address certain line items on its agenda. These details were discussed when the THA appeared before the Standing Finance Committee for the 2025 National Budget. Some of the increases were allocated to the Tobago Festivals Commission and the School Feeding Program. However, the allocations still fall short of the actual amounts required for these programs. More from Candice Jackson.
Among the items receiving increased subventions from the central government to the THA under recurrent expenditure is the school feeding program. Over the past 2 years, it was budgeted at $20 million, but Minister of Finance Com Imbert noted that an additional $6.5 million has been allocated. However, this still falls short of what is needed.
If you look at this one, this is similar to a previous item on another page. If you look at the actual for school feeding for 2023, you'll see it was $34 million. Okay? So what they're doing, they're moving money around. They're telling me that this $20 million is inadequate for the expenses of the program, so they supplement it otherwise.
The same applies to the Tobago Festivals Commission. Its actual expenditure for fiscal 2023 is $34.9 million, while it was budgeted at $20 million for fiscal 2023 and 2024. Actual expenditure for fiscal 2024 has not yet been released. An additional $4 million is being added, bringing the total to $24 million for fiscal 2024.
What I'm told is that the expenditure quite often is more than 20 million. If you look at the 2024 estimates, original provision was 20, revised 20, but what I'm being told is that they need a little bit more for their festivals. I mean, you have Tobago Heritage Festival, etc.
Imbert noted that the THA has the flexibility to reallocate funds as they see fit without the approval of the Ministry of Finance, so he expects the shortfall to be addressed through cuts in other areas. Meanwhile, he also mentioned that a provision of $26 million is being made to facilitate land purchase for a mega farming project.
It's for development of 50 acres of agricultural lands at Argyle. A contract was issued in the amount of $27 million, VAT inclusive, for that. So the $26 million is for that.
A provision has also been made to expand the work of trade schools. Over the past 2 years, this budget was set at $12 million, but an additional $4.6 million is now being allocated.
They have restructured their trade center division, I am told, and as a result, they have increased or will be increasing the number of program offerings and the enrollment, the number of students.
Meanwhile, decreases were observed in areas such as allocations for goods and services, contract employment, equipment, travel, and rent and lease of buildings, among others. One of the largest decreases was in the expenses for the Office of the Deputy Chief Secretary, which saw its entire budget of $485,000 scrapped. The THA's total recurrent expenditures for fiscal 2025 are set at $2.275 billion. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
The annual Blue Food Festival will be held this Sunday, October 20th from 10 a.m. at the Bloody Bay Recreational Grounds. Thousands are expected to attend. Assistant Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Niall George, highlighted the beauty of the journey to Bloody Bay and the opportunity to take photos. Here's more from Adana Kombi.
Heading up to the northern part of the island, you will find a myriad of picturesque views. The Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation encourages patients to stop, take in the view and take some photos. Blue Food photo signs will be installed at strategic locations to provide the perfect opportunity for the perfect photo.
But Blue Food is not just about the actual Bloody Bay site. It's about the journey to the site. As the chief says, you would be moving along the better side of the island, many picturesque beaches, and we have taken advantage of that by putting down picture spots in the villages on the way to Blue Food. So I'd be taking my family. I would advise most people to take their family as well. Have a treat, capture moments along the way.
Assistant Secretary Niall George spoke about the many attractions one can expect from attending the festival.
There would be competition and activities. So there would be activities for the kids, such as bouncy castles and petting zoos. There will be dashing competition, the best dashing cake, the best dashing wine, best dashing pie, best dashing drink, best dashing dish, best dashing booth.
Additional attractions include performances by local artists, with the main headliner being Nadia Batson. Also featured would be the best dressed male and best dressed female competitions.
There would also be competitions for the crowd. Best dressed male, best dressed female. So please dress to impress, because you will be judged. There would also be the biggest Blue Food posse. So yeah, encouraging you all to come out in your numbers, dress and represent where you come from, come out, have a good time, and again, safety is paramount to us.
Adana Kambi, Tobago Updates Television News.
The highly anticipated Tobago October Carnival is less than 1 week away. With a budget of $9 million, plans are on the way with branding stretched across the island. However, former Secretary of Community Development and Culture, Dr. Denise Toyafat Angus, remains steadfast in her position that the planning process was not as effective as it should have been. Here's more.
With less than 1 week to go, pre-carnival events are already being held. Yesterday, promoters and patrons enjoyed their time at one of the events' Runaway. As the buzz continues with Soca Titans finals, Pan and Powder, Mud is Life, and other events set to take place, Dr. Denise Toyafat Angus is not impressed with the plans thus far. She raised concerns about the release of the $9 million budget and how it will be allocated.
Because right now, you're talking about spending $9 million in 2 weeks. No, $11.5 million. It's not $11.5 million in 2 weeks. How do you spend $11.5 million in 2 weeks? Where is that money going? Is it going to stakeholders? Is it going to infrastructure? Is it going to paying past bills, that are still outstanding for Carnival 2023.
She said that without a budget in place prior to now, appropriate spending will not occur, claiming that it is a recipe for disaster. Angus spoke about 3 main pillars that should be considered for returns from the Carnival event and other festivals on the island.
Any country putting on an event or Carnival, you need, number 1, economic growth. You need to show economic growth coming out of the exercise, and therefore I would hope that they have measurements in place to determine what has been the economic growth given the spend that we have had this year.
Other pillars mentioned were cultural preservation and promotion and global recognition. When asked about her approach to planning the Tobago October Carnival for 2025, she said, "We need the data.
We need the data to know what took place in Carnival 2025. We need a full assessment of all of the data being gathered, and that is where you begin. How many people came to the island? How the hotels were done? Were there any issues? How did the stakeholders fare? All of those conversations have to happen."
Adana Kambi, Tobago Updates Television News.
We'll take a short break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Blue food came from dasheen locally. We look at dasheen, which when you boil it, you get a blue coloration.
Are you ready for Tobago Blue Food Festival 2024? Join us on October 20th for an unforgettable celebration of Tobago's unique cuisine. Enjoy live cooking demonstrations, local music, and cultural performances throughout the day. This festival has something for every palate. It's all happening October 20th in Bloody Bay. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info and make sure you're part of this one-of-a-kind culinary event.
Tobago Carnival is just around the corner, and Bethel Credit Union has you covered. Whether you're prepping for costumes, parties, giveaways, or a staycation, it's all within your reach with our Carnival loan sale. For as little as $900 a month, yes, $900 a month, you can get the funds you need to make this Carnival season unforgettable. At Bethel Credit Union, we're here to make your celebration dreams a reality. Visit us today or call 639-8226 for more information. Normal lending criteria applies because we see you at BCU.
Welcome back. The date for the Mud is Life festivities at the Tobago October Carnival has been changed. Originally set for Saturday, October 26th, Assistant Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation Niall George announced that the event will now take place on Friday, October 25th. More details about this change and other information related to Tobago Carnival in this report from Candice Jackson.
Just 1 week before the 2024 Tobago October Carnival weekend, a date change has been announced for one of its events. The Mud is Life festivities, originally scheduled for Saturday night, October 26th, has been moved to Friday night, October 25th, according to Niall George, Assistant Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation.
The Mud is Life promoters agreed that the festivities would be moved to Friday at 11. This would allow for persons to partake in the Mud and then head to the Juve festivities, which would start at 4 a.m.
Although previously advertised for Friday night, George stated that the decision was made after much deliberation, considering the significance of Mud finding its rightful place in the Tobago Carnival.
After meeting with the stakeholders, between the stakeholders, divisions and Festivals Commission, we have come to the conclusion that if Mud is to be to Tobago, what Jab is to Grenada, we need to give it some special care and special attention.
He also announced that Mud stations will be set up along the route, allowing revelers to engage as they move into the Juve festivities. Meanwhile, George confirmed that everything is in place for the Rhythm, Steel and Powder event on Saturday night, which would lead into night mass. On Sunday, the conventional mass activities will begin at 10 a.m., marking the grand finale of Tobago Carnival. The route remains the same as last year, with Milford Road in Scarborough as the main stage for all the festivities. However, George warned the public and event promoters that noise pollution laws would be enforced in areas between Comfort Inn Suites and the Orange Hill traffic lights, along with surrounding locations.
And there will be a no tolerance attitude towards disturbing the peace. We all have to enjoy the festivities. We all want it to be, if not as safe as last year, safer. And we all must respect each other in our bid to have fun and live with one another.
George also assured the public that every effort is being made to ensure revelers can parade without falling victim to criminal activities.
We have had many security meetings with the security stakeholders, and they have assured us that all plans are well underway, and they intend to keep the reputation of Tobago having the safest carnival in the world.
This is a third edition of the Tobago Carnival. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Earlier today, finalists of the Tobago Soca Titans competition drew numbers to determine the position they'll be performing during the competition scheduled for Wednesday, 23rd October. Reporter Joe Sheldon has the details.
According to the Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Councillor Tasha Boris, the Soca Titans competition recognizes the talent of Tobagonians and the potential for a budding soca industry.
What I saw in the audition is a budding soca industry that we have to continue to push on this side, that we as a government, as an administration, we have to see the worth in investing in those talents.
Boris noted that the Tobago Carnival has taken on an identity of its own and that it is distinctive from Trinidad's.
It's not a Trinidad carnival. It's not a Trini-style carnival. It's a Tobago carnival. It's a carnival that we have created. It's a carnival that we have curated. And it's a carnival that will continue to evolve.
A total of 10 finalists will compete for the title of Soca Titan. The competition will be held at the Market Square car park. The competitors will appear in the following order: Caston Cupid, Javon Royal Jackson, Gerard GMB Balfour, David Starboy International Thomas, Jahim Verse Thomas, Wendell Excite Alexander, Colleen Jamoy Alexander, Dejae Saul, Keishon Zwadi Jacques, and Adrian Num Num Isaac. Joe Sheldon, Tobago Updates Television News.
For the third consecutive year, B-Mobile has reaffirmed its commitment as a major sponsor for Tobago's October Carnival. Partnering with the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited, B-Mobile aims to enhance the festival experience for both local and international attendees. Reese Hossain, Acting Vice President of Customer Experience and Marketing at B-Mobile, emphasized the company's dedication to supporting Tobago's cultural and economic development. Alongside its financial backing, B-Mobile invested in upgrading its network infrastructure across Tobago to ensure seamless communication during the festivities. One of the key highlights will be B-Mobile Band of the Road competition, which will celebrate Tobago's carnival culture. You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
Tell them I can't do even bother calling me. Tell them I can't. I said tell them I can't do even bother calling me. Tell them.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. More, live more.
Blue food came from Dashin locally. We look at Dashin, which when you boil it, you get a blue coloration.
Are you ready for Tobago Blue Food Festival 2024? Join us on October 20th for an unforgettable celebration of Tobago's unique cuisine. Enjoy live cooking demonstrations, local music, and cultural performances throughout the day. This festival has something for every palate. It's all happening October 20th in Bloody Bay. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info and make sure you're part of this one-of-a-kind culinary event.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army Fete Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like home.
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army Fete Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army Fete Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Thanks for staying with us. A 24-year-old laborer, Karim Peters of Golden Lane, was granted bail of $2 million after appearing in Tobago Masters Court on Wednesday. He is charged with the possession of marijuana for trafficking and is set to return to court on July 10, 2025. The charge stems from an incident occurring on October 7, 2024, when officers acting on information discovered a white Nissan Tiida parked along Pigeon Point Road. With assistance from the K9 unit, they found 48 packages and 7 additional packages of cannabis, totaling 29.7 kilograms with an estimated street value of $1.6 million. One suspect was arrested and the drugs were seized. Now to the weather. Now for the weather update from the TNT Met Office. Tonight will be mostly fair despite the odd brisk showers. Temperatures will drop to 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow predominantly hot and sunny despite the low chance of 1 or 2 isolated showers. Nighttime will initially be fair with a few showers after midnight. Temperatures will rise to 33 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 37 degrees. Tomorrow's sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate with waves near 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise at 5:52 and sunset at 5:43. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines before we go. THA receives increased budget allocation for line items. Blue Food Festivals to jumpstart Tobago Carnival festivities. Mud is Life moves to Friday. And the position chosen for Soca Titans competition. I am Bianna Brebner. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.